Welcome back for Game 2 of this doubleheader between Flagler University and the University of Tampa. Flagler took the first 5-3. As we get ready, Garland Evans against Sam Worrell. Take a look at the Spartan defense going left to right in the outfield. Lauren Reyes, Lauren Pasco, Bailey Phillips. Left to right defensively as Worrell delivers upstairs and Garland Evans works a walk. At third base for the Spartans, Corinne Miner. Steph Ballmer is at short. Erica Matic at second. Emily Jansen at first. Worrell pitching and Maddie Farrell doing the catching duties. Alex, taking a look at the first game statistics, what stood out to you from the Flagler perspective, particularly in that seventh inning when they strung together 4 runs?
Yeah, Flagler had 6 hits overall in the game, but in that final inning, they were very efficient to put together 4 runs. We'll see if that translates, though, into the second game, as they already have a base runner with nobody out.
Well, Worrell is ahead 0-2 on the count. And the pitch, Maddie Farrell thought about a snap throw, thought better of it. Tatum Morgan up at the plate in a 1-2 count. She was 1 for 4 in the first game. Cut on and miss out in front of the changeup. That's the first strikeout for Sam Worrell.
Encouraging for Worrell there to get her first strikeout in the first inning. She had 1 strikeout in her last appearance as a starting pitcher.
And that is a high pop-up. Taking a look is Pasco. She'll range in. She'll make the play. 1 pitch, and then the second out for Sam Worrell.
Fighting fourth for Flagler, number 14, Maria Kappas.
Maria Kappas, of course, had that triple that got Flagler going in the first game. It was in the 4th inning. Eventually came around to score. Takes inside, ball 1. And that is going to reach the right center field gap. Making a nice stop is Phillips coming in, and it'll be first and third. A single for Kappas.
Evans held up there at third. Could have pushed it to go home, but playing it conservative there to hold her up.
So Morgan Murphy will have runners on the corners, 2 out. And Sam Worrell will look to get out of trouble and pitch a clean first inning. Morgan Murphy was 1 for 3 in the first game. Takes a pitch in there for a strike. The crew chief is Michael Eggleston. Chris Stahanica, he was the crew chief for the first game. He's at second base making the field calls. And that is a high pop-up. Coming in strong, Phillips unable to make the catch. And coming in to score the first run of the ball game is Garland Evans.
Snapped back to first, not in time. Phillips laid out there. Dangerous to do it 2 away if that ball was going to get by her, but luckily the ball stays in front of her. 1 run comes in, though, giving Flagler an early lead.
Base hit for Morgan Murphy. Her second run batted in of the day. Quality pitch by Worrell.
Swing and a miss there by Murphy.
It'll be Steph Ballmer, Christina Clawberg, and Corinne Miner, 1, 2, 3, to lead things off for the Spartans in the bottom of the first inning. Pitch inside, 1-1 the count. It's been a pleasure to have you with us for this doubleheader alongside Alex Kirsch. I'm Connor Moore. You're listening on the Sunshine State Digital Network as Maddie Farrell keeps it in front and prevents Flagler from scoring their second run as Maria Capos desperately wanted to dash for home, but that's a nice stop by Farrell to prevent the second run from coming across.
However, in the meantime, we do have runners that advance to second and third.
Indeed, heads up base running by Evans as that one is crushed, ranging over is Pasco, making it look easy. And that will conclude the top half of the first inning. The Saints strike for 1 run on 2 hits and 2 runners left stranded. We'll get our first look pitching for the Saints coming up here, Alex. We were taking a look. It is going to be Elena Savaglio. She has a 2.87 ERA on the year, 22 strikeouts for the Saints. And Savaglio, only a freshman from Middletown, New York, and a Minnesink Valley High School graduate.
Yeah, for these Tampa Spartans, they scored 2 runs in the first inning of last game. Limited amount of offense since then, and to see that 1 run come on for the Saints. We have a correction. We have Caitlin McHugh, who's going to be pitching for the Saints.
So we saw Savaglio and McHugh both warming up. It ends up being McHugh, so the freshman will not appear as the starter today.
Yeah, the 2 of them seemed almost interchangeable. Had basically the same amount of strikeouts as McHugh had, just 1 more than Savaglio, and her ERA is very solid at a 2.03.
She's a sophomore from Port St. Lucie, Florida. 4 wins on the season. Steph Ballmer, the freshman, to lead things off for Tampa against her. Steph had a quality game. She worked a walk, got a hit, and came around to score 2 runs. As the Spartans just fell short in Game 1, we'll look to avenge that loss in hopes of splitting this doubleheader.
Leading off for your Spartans, number 2, Steph Ballmer.
We'll take a look. It'll actually be Ballmer, Minor, and Warrell. Clawberg is the designated player, although we do see her on deck, so I believe we will see Clawberg batting second. Perhaps Reyes will be the DP for this game. The first pitch is a ball.
Yeah, Coach loves the Canner switching it up again. Jansen started lead off in the last game. She'll be the 5-hitter today.
Well, if one thing's for sure, there's no definites when it comes to this team. There are a lot of mixes and matches that can be made across the board at any given time.
One thing to keep in mind as we get later, it's about 6:15 p.m. now, and as we get later on for this night game, the sun will start to go down, the lights are on. We'll see if that has an impact on these fielders at all. 3-0 the count. Fouled straight back by Ballmer.
Taking a look at the Saints defense from left to right. Miller, Evans, and Mangini round out the outfield. At the hot corner is Morgan. Capos is at short. Murphy at second. And she's joined by the other Murphy at first base. Mizujukovic is the catcher. And as Alex mentioned, McHugh is in the circle pitching.
McHugh able to work to a 3-1 count. Full count, actually, 3-2.
And the full count, looper to the third baseman making the play is Tatum Morgan. Alex, you gave Pizza Hut a shout-out in the first game. We did catch their slogan, so I want to hear your rendition of your Pizza Hut sponsor. Let's hear it.
I'm going to go with you on that one. I don't want to mess that up.
We'll make it great. We'll make it great with Pizza Hut, as always. Special thanks to them. And while you're at it, eating Pizza Hut, why not grab a Pepsi if you're thirsty? Another proud sponsor of the University of Tampa Athletics. Clawberg up to the plate. We saw her pinch hit as she crushes that one. Giving a look is the left fielder and not going to be able to make the play as it tails out of play.
She's the Spartans' second leading hitter in average, over 280. She works it to a 2-1.
The 2-1 slow roller and the strong throw across the diamond. 5-3 on the putout. Morgan to Murphy.
Up next will be Corinne Miner.
Third for your Spartans, number 22, Corinne Miner.
She delivered an RBI last game.
Nobody on, 2 outs. McHugh to Miner, ball 1. As we take a look for the Flagler hitters in the second inning will be Patterson, Muzjokovic, and Miller. That one is hit on a button, foul. A bit early on the swing was Miner.
Solid contact there. Really drove the ball deep, but that'll go down as a strike in the scorebooks.
The 1-1 from McHugh on its way, low. So the 2-1 now to Corinne. See what she can do with this pitch. Muzjokovic tried to frame it to no avail, and Miner now at a 3-1 count. Should get something good to hit here. And the pitch. That one is crushed in the left center field gap. Play will be made by the left fielder Miller. And the Spartans go down 1-2-3 against McHugh. It'll be 7-8-9 for Flagler. Patterson, Muzjokovic, and Miller next to face Sam Worrell. We'll be right after this. For Alex Kirsch, I'm Connor Moore. Thanks so much for joining us for this doubleheader between Flagler and Tampa. The Saints hold a 1-0 lead here in the second inning. And here we go. Sam Worrell is ready. Patterson is ready. And here we go in the second inning. First pitch outside.
Worrell in her first season as a starting pitcher has a 2.71 ERA.
Cassie Patterson had 1 hit and 3 at-bats in game 1. That one is hit up the middle, and wow, that ball just died in the middle of the infield, and Ballmer was not able to make a play. Should be an infield single. It is for Cassie Peterson, her second hit of the day.
Ballmer looked to pick that up barehanded, but her momentum just took her away from the ball as it stopped in the dirt.
It was a bit of a check swing by Patterson. Sometimes you get good fortune, and she did there with the infield single. Muzjokovic, the catcher, at the plate, had a RBI and 1 hit, along with 2 strikeouts in game 1.
For the Saints, number 4, Tabitha Foreman.
Tabitha Foreman, the freshman from Charlotte,
Batting for Flagler, number 7.
pinch running for Patterson. See if Foreman's aggressive on the base paths. 1. It's a pop-up and nice running play by Minor. Jansen and Worrell also were in the mix.
That'll go down as the first out of the inning.
Well, Tampa will take it any way they can get it.
Batting for Flagler, number 5, Megan Miller.
Imperative game here, trying to split at home.
Also rebound after that loss in the first game. First ball up high for a ball.
Megan Miller was 0 for 2 with a base on balls in her first game here at Namoli. Cut on a miss, snap throw from Farrell, not in time. (1-1) with 1 out in the top of the second. Foul out of play. It'll be Worrell, Jansen, and Phillips for the Spartans. We saw Phillips come in and get a big pinch hit in the 7th for the Spartans. What can she do to build on that now in the starting lineup for Game 2?
Phillips really has to work on that confidence. However, she has a great power at bat and can be a great fixture for the Spartan lineup, given that pop that they need to get some RBIs in.
And what I liked is she had a nice solid single in that at bat. So it starts with getting the slow ones. As that one's hit, thought about going to second was Minor. She goes to Jansen, 5-3, and now 2 outs. Advancing to second is Foreman, and you can see why Foreman's out there pinch running. She dashed to second. Really no play there for Minor. Made the safe throw to Jansen.
Yeah, the only way Minor was going to make that out at second is if right as she picked it up, she was going to throw it. But just that half step and thought about it made her go over to first. First pitch, looked outside, called strike. Worrell will take it.
And Garland Evans walked in the first inning, came around to score. So perfect example of one of those instances you never want to walk the leadoff batter. It can only come back to haunt you, and that it did for Worrell. But plenty of game left as we're only in the second inning. Foreman leads off second. It's a 1-1 coming to Garland. Out of play, Garland Evans fouls it off, but now behind in the count, 1-2. The pitch from Worrell outside. 2-2 with 2 outs in the second inning. Flagler's already gotten 3 hits. The payoff from Worrell. That one is hit sky high. Pascal coming in makes the play, and that will conclude the second inning. So a bounce back inning for Sam Worrell, and she'll lead things off batting cleanup for the Spartans in the bottom of the second. Sam Worrell had 1 hit and 2 RBIs. Of course, had that double in the first inning last game to get the Spartans going. She'll look to build on that here. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Namoli Stadium. Here we are, 1-0 Flagler as we get ready for the second inning of play. Spartans up now in the bottom of the second. Sam Worrell, the South Florida transfer, is up against McHugh. McHugh only needed 15 pitches to go 1, 2, 3 to retire the first 3 Spartans. She's ready. Worrell's ready. Let's do it. First pitch, ball 1.
McHugh has an interesting windup there, which really squats down before popping back up and delivering a pitch. It might affect the timing of the hitter a little bit. Let's see if she does that again. Yeah.
There's a strike.
Making these Spartan hitters just wait an extra second.
The 1-1 to the dangerous Sam Worrell, of course, mentioned, as that one is fouled out of play.
Chest foul.
Her and Chevalier lead the Spartans with 2 home runs apiece.
However, we have not seen a ball go over the fence here at Namola Family Stadium in a long time. We've seen a couple inside the park home runs.
Those are always fun.
If she were to get one out here or at some point during the season, this crowd would erupt.
1-2 from McHugh. Outside, 2-2.
Good job for Worrell to lay off that pitch. Not overextend.
McHugh is a Treasure Coast graduate over in the lakes of Port St. Lucie. The 2-2 going opposite field is Worrell, and that'll be a base hit. Nice piece of hitting.
Diving for that was the second baseman Murphy, went under her.
So the no-hitter for Flagler did not last long. Spartans on the board here in the second inning. Emily Jansen will look to keep it going. Bailey Phillips on deck.
Encouraging sign for the Spartans to get the leadoff hitter on base. Emily Jansen calls for time. Not sure. Lays down bunt. Pops that back. It's going to be strike 1.
The Saints defense was expecting it. Had the wheel play in order if that was a successful bunt.
Jansen will talk to Coach Canner and they'll decide if she's going to lay down a bunt or let the plus 300 hitter have a swing at it.
It's a chilly day here in Tampa, Florida. 55 degrees. We've seen some blankets and sweatshirts out in the crowd, rightfully so.
Players also wearing some long sleeves. Showed bunt. Caught a ball.
20 pitches for Caitlin McHugh.
Seemed there like the umpire Eggleston thought about calling that one a strike.
Here's the pitch.
Again, gets that on the ground. Out to first, but advances the runner over to second with 1 away.
So now Bailey Phillips, the runner in scoring position, will try to bring in Sam Worrell and potentially tie this ball game up.
Phillips has come out to crazy train by Ozzy Osbourne for the last 2 seasons. Maybe using that to pump herself up. Has some crazy power.
Pitch from McHugh down the middle for a strike. Taking all the way was Phillips. Erica Madish awaits on deck. Long look by McHugh. Misses her target.
And see what the word is here. We have a pinch runner coming in. It's going to be number 11.
Mackenzie Allen, the sophomore.
We saw her last game as well.
Spartans number 11, Mackenzie Allen.
11-44.
Allen runs well, so ball hit out of the infield in all likelihood would send her home.
She comes in at a 1-1 count.
The 1-1 to Phillips, cut on and missed. And what's interesting about the catcher, Alex, Miss Djokovic, she's a lefty. How many lefty catchers do you see in the game today? Not many.
Not too many. Interesting. We'll see if...
And how about this? We got a squirrel trying to be Superman over here, climbing the netting as Phillips strikes out for the second out of the inning. And now Erica Matic.
Batting for your Spartans, number 12, Erica Matic.
Matic comes on with a runner in scoring position. Ball over there at second, 2 away.
Was hitless in her first 2 at-bats before being pinch hit for by Clawberg in game 1.
Ball dropped there by the catcher, but picks it up nicely. Interesting to see there from McHugh. She got even deeper in her windup and almost hit her glove on the ground before she even pitched the ball.
The 1-0 to Matic.
Pops that up and back. Got under the ball. Catcher Maddie Farrell is on deck.
And the 1-1 from McHugh out of play. Lauren Reyes today is the designated player. The 1-2 from Matic will choke up on the bat, look to make contact.
Caught a ball.
Some jeers from the Saints. They thought that was strike 3.
Good eye from Matic.
So the 2-2 now from McHugh. Important pitch from both sides. Here we go. Matic gets a piece of it, and it will stay in play. It will be a pop out to the first baseman, Murphy. And leading things off in the top of the third will be Morgan, Mangini, and Capos for Flagler. 1-0 Saints. You're listening on the Sunshine State Digital Network. Tatum Morgan to lead things off in the top of the third for the Saints.
She had some late game heroics in the first one. Getting on base with 2 strikes and 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Extending that game, which Flagler would narrowly win. We got a close one here again, though, in Tampa. Flagler leads 1-0. Could be anyone's game.
That one is crushed to deep left. It is high. It is far.
It is foul.
And it is foul.
This curled foul down that left pole.
And we're starting to see some winds enter Namoli Family Stadium. And there was some life on that ball. It just carried off the bat, and it gave a long ride, but if you're a Spartan fan, fortunately, just curved foul.
What's this girl on second?
Tatum Morgan thought she had a stand-up double, but she was just alerted by her teammate Mangini. Hold on a second, you need to come back in the batter's box. You're not finished yet.
Good to see her hustling, though, not watching the ball. Don't see that very often.
Low, 3-1 the count. Waro will look to fight back.
Another hitter's count here. We saw she had some power. What can she do with it this time?
Got under it.
Up.
Taking charge, Balmer. That's the first out of the third inning. Incredible pitch there by Worrell. Out in front, swinging for the fences was Morgan. Jammed her.
It's encouraging when you see a ball that goes far over your head to land foul. Not discourage the pitcher. 1-0 count now.
Mangini had 1 hit and 4 at-bats, had an RBI and a strikeout.
She's 0 for 1 today.
That one is skied. Shallow left field coming on.
Flips, but that's caught by Reyes in shallow left field. That will go down as the second out of the inning.
This will be the 40th pitch for Sam Worrell coming up. Giving up 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout through 2 2/3. Watch out inside. Pitch to Maria Capos.
Ball's down the middle for a strike.
I've been in so many unfortunate scenarios. I got struck by lightning before.
In a planes? What happens?
The 1-1 from Sam Worrell to Capos. Missed it badly that time.
Pilot gets on, he goes, yeah, everything's fine, but we're going to make an emergency landing. I'm like,
And as you look ahead to the bottom of the third, Farrell, Pasco, and then the top of the lineup, Balmer for Tampa. Here's the 2-1 from Sam. Cut on and missed. Capos was fooled out in front.
We'll see if with the 2-2 count that Worrell will go for a strikeout pitch here. Nobody on base. Maybe you can show some of her best stuff.
The 2-2 with 2 outs from Sam Worrell. Upstairs.
Maybe baiting her to swing at that, but that's going to bring up a full count now.
Flagler's 3 for 11 thus far and 2 for 8 with runners on scoring possession. Add 1 for 3 for the Saints. In the full count, that's ball 4.
Way inside there, but
Quality at bat for Capos gets rewarded with the base on balls.
what's your take on Worrell's performance so far, Connor?
I think Worrell is still gathering herself on the mound. She hasn't given up the big hit yet, but she's also not really gotten in that groove at the same time. So if you're Coach Canner, hoping that she can get it going a little bit quickly and maybe get some offense along with that. If you're Flagler, keep taking pitches, making them work. And this is a slow roller to Matic. Will go the short way and make the play. 4-3, and working out of trouble was Worrell. And it'll be Farrell, Pasco, and then Balmer for Tampa. And Alex, the Spartans have yet to get going offensively. What must they do in the bottom of the third to get clicking at the batter's box?
Although the Spartans have not had the best offensive game so far, and as we've seen in games past, it takes them a couple innings to get going offensively, and this is no different. However, it's still just a 1-run game, and for them here, if they can get a couple runners on base, it could be easily able to take the lead. It's been much of a pitcher's battle thus far, and coming up for the Spartans, we do have Maddie Farrell. Next is Lauren Pasco, and Pasco, that's who is someone that's going to be somebody to keep an eye on, given the fact that last year when she batted and limited sample size had such a high batting average, that being able to get these batters on base, Farrell Farrell, almost a 300 on base percentage. If she can get on base here, could mean big things for these Spartans.
Absolutely, and you have to mention the pitching that the Saints have brought into Name-Only Stadium. Of course, we saw Kyra Gibson in the first game. She pitched a gem, Alex. She went a complete game, 7 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, only 2 strikeouts, but she got it done, pitching to contact and ground balls in particular. Got the Spartans, after the Worrell double, the 2-runner in the third, the Spartans went down quietly. And now we're seeing Caitlin McHugh off to a solid start through 2 innings, but that can change and can change very quickly if the Spartans can get hot at the batter's box.
Caitlin McHugh, one of 3 Saints pitchers under a 3 ERA.
2.03, and factoring those 2 scoreless now probably south of 2s. Maddie Farrell looking to get on board, takes outside.
Farrell, the catcher for both games of this doubleheader, so if she gets on base later on in the game, expect for a pinch runner to come in for her, given that those legs could be a little tired.
Farrell ahead 2-0 in the count. McHugh yet to walk a batter. The lone batter that Worrell walked ended up scoring, so could be an easy way for Tampa to get on board. Crushing it foul. Maddie's not up there to walk. She's up there to hit, and you could tell that there was a quality swing, bit out in front.
Still a hitter's count here at 2-1. Interesting to see if she'll take, though, knowing that McHugh has not walked any Tampa batters, and getting that leadoff runner on board is very important.
The 2-1 from McHugh outside, as Lauren Pasco will get her first at bat, number 9 hitter for Tampa, and we'll flip it to Steph Ballmer. Hitters count for Farrell. If she gets something she likes, she will look to crush it. 3-1, chopper to third across the diamond, and a nice pick. Morgan to Murphy, 5-3 on the ground out.
Number 5, Lauren Pasco.
Lauren Pasco gets her first look at McHugh. Swinging away, 0-1.
.38 pitches now for McHugh.
Tampa's currently on a 4-game skid. Would love to end that and start a winning streak.
Pitch goes inside, clubbed foul. It's going to bring up an 0-2 count. Pasco is a contact hitter.
Lauren will choke up here. Try to make contact. The 0-2 coming from McHugh. Long pause. The pitch, it's on its way. And it's 1-2. We'll do it again. The delivery from McHugh.
Slaps it straight to the first baseman, picks it up, steps on the bag, 2 away.
And we'll go to the top of the lineup, Steph Ballmer for Tampa. As we get a look ahead, it's 6, 7, 8 for Flagler, Murphy, Foreman, and Muzjokovic. And Ballmer's first at bat, she popped out to the third baseman, Tatum Morgan. Outside, first pitch.
I thought like this because we didn't have softball songs. So I had to take it off. Yeah, but they weren't even named. Like they didn't have the name.
Defense playing very level right now.
But then I fixed that.
The 1-0. Bunting.
It might have hit her. It did.
I think she was still in the batter's box, so yes, it will be a foul ball. Of course, if it hit her after she left the batter's box, that would have been an out.
So
that's not the case. And that's why we're having an appeal from head coach Catherine George, and right now,
that ball kind of...
Tahanika will confirm that she was in the batter's box, keeping Ballmer's at-bat alive in the bottom of the third. But you can understand why Gorge wants an explanation.
Ball went straight down, came straight back up, almost hit the plate also. Interesting to see her go for the bunt, maybe catch that defense off guard, force them to make a play. Ballmer does have some wheels.
Now 1-1. McHugh delivers low, 2-1. Be the 43rd pitch for McHugh.
Still only giving up one hit this evening.
The 2-1.
Favorable count now at 3-1 for Ballmer.
Nice job, babe.
And if Ballmer can get on board, that'll bring up Christina Clawberg, and then Corinne Miner getting into the heart of Tampa's lineup. See what she can do. 3-1, taking all the way.
Straight down the middle for a strike. Full count with 2 outs.
High stake at bat here. Bottom of the third.
Ballmer just looking to get on base.
And the payoff.
Fouled right back towards the press box.
And the pitch.
Fouled back again. Do it again.
Neither hitter nor batter giving in. Here we go. Yet another foul ball.
Great at bat so far by Ballmer. Freshman is showing great poise at the plate to fend off some tough pitches.
And as a hitter, that's what you try to do. You try to foul off these quality pitches in hopes of getting a mistake down the heart of the plate, one of which you can really drive.
Or better yet, just to see a ball that you know for sure you don't have to swing at.
Here we go, McHugh.
That ball looked up and she swung at that one.
Impressive that Ballmer was able to get to it, though.
Rise ball.
I think I'd be hit by like 10 times.
I'm just sitting back here laughing.
Encouraging sign here from Ballmer. Being able to make contact. Here comes the pitch.
That one is in the left field. And how about that? Steph Ballmer got her money's worth. That at-bat ends up with a base hit.
Delivers a 2-out single, bringing up Christina Clawberg. Great at-bat by Ballmer. Again, working the pitch count.
And the second hit is brought to you by Steph Ballmer. And now can the Spartans string something together? Well, let's see. The red shirt junior, Christina Clawberg. Clawberg grounded out to Morgan over at the hot corner in the first inning, taking strike one.
Third baseman Morgan playing in.
Secondary lead for Ballmer over there at first. Long pause from McHugh. Pitch on its way. And Morgan tries to battle the wind and will not get it. Yeah, the wind really took that ball back towards the Tampa dugout. off the bat, it looked like there was going to be plenty of room.
That's going to bring up no balls and 2 strikes. Another interesting thing to note on that pitch, Balmer ran as soon as McHugh delivered. She was looking to steal. Doesn't necessarily seem like the shortstop over there is concerned with covering that second base.
The 0-2 from McHugh, just outside.
Looking to frame it. Missed her mark by a tad. Head umpire Michael Eggleston shades over to the left side of the catcher.
1-2 to Clawberg in the bottom of the third, on its way.
Balmer goes.
Going Balmer, and she's in there, beats the tag. And how about that now? Steph Balmer moves into scoring position. And why not test that southpaw behind the plate? Was not a bad throw, but you mentioned the shortstop not in the best position, thus unable to make the tag, and Steph Balmer with the snag.
Also a good low slide there, head first. Balmer dove in behind the tag.
2-2, 2 outs to Clawberg.
Did she go? No, she did not.
And you hear Maria Capos all the way from short screaming she went, and then they do go to the appeal to Konica, having nothing doing there, and it's a full count to Clawberg, and we're going to have a meeting at the mound now.
This will add some pressure to Clawberg, giving her a little bit of time to think about the pitch that might be coming and expect a strike.
Well, now there is a lot of softball yet to be played, but at the same time there's not, as we're in the bottom of the third. Only 4 more innings left. Insert the Jeopardy music here.
I think what they're discussing is that they know that Corinne Miner is going to be on deck, and if Clawberg is going to be walked, that's going to bring 2 on and Miner to the plate, and she's a very dangerous hitter. Another at-bat goes to a full count.
What can Clawberg do with a full count against Caitlin McHugh? And the pitch. Little looper, right field, making the play is the second baseman Murphy, and McHugh works in and out of trouble, stranding Balmer on second. As we get ready for the top of the 4th inning, Murphy, Foreman, and Musjokovic for the Saints. You're listening on the Sunshine State Digital Network. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Namoli Family Stadium for the second game of this day-night doubleheader between the Flagler Saints and the Tampa Spartans. Alongside Alex Kirsch, we got a base hit already, Alex. How about that? 1 pitch from Worrell, and getting ready to swing was Natalie Murphy. And that is the 4th hit of the game now.
That was shades of our first game of this doubleheader with the Saints hitters just swinging at the first pitch. She had great solid contact there, screamed that one up the middle.
Worrell now pitching to Foreman. Foreman came in to pinch run. Actually, it's Cassie Patterson. Excuse me. Patterson did get the hit, and then Foreman came in to pinch run for her, then going back to the bench. Slow chopper right back to Worrell. She's going to go for the lead runner. Balmer won the relay, not in time. The putout is 1-4, getting the lead runner, fielder's choice. Out in front was Patterson on that swing.
Heads up play from Worrell to turn around and make an accurate throw over to second.
So Jacqueline Mushkovich, the lefty throwing catcher, bats from the right side, so
Interesting there. Imagine
about as seesaw as it gets in terms of what you're getting. But
imagine if she was left-handed, she'd be hitting left-handed against a right-handed pitcher, but
Miss Djokovic fouls it off.
she could be one of those ambidextrous people that just use certain hands for certain things.
Whatever works. 1-1 with 1 out. Worrell delivers, cut on and missed. That was the 51st pitch of the ball game for Sam. As we look ahead to the bottom of the 4th inning, Corinne Miner, Sam Worrell, Emily Jansen. That's 3-4-5 for Tampa. Trying to get on the scoreboard still. Skips to the plate low, 2-2 the count. And the pitch, watch out, up and in, full count.
Look for Patterson to run as soon as this ball leaves the hand of Worrell.
Megan Miller on deck, the senior from Lando Lakes. Here comes Worrell, that's ball 4. First and second now with 1 out from the number 9 hitter. It's the 3rd walk of the game for Worrell.
Miller comes up now. She was 0 for 2 with a walk in the first game. She's 0 for 1 so far tonight.
Yeah, grounded out to Corinne Miner in the 2nd inning. Takes strike 1.
Throw number 5, Megan.
Not me. But okay. No, I'm kidding.
Spartans have had their hands full today.
I know.
Getting everything they get from Flagler's. That's
Double play ball
chop
there.
to Matic. They will not get 2, but they get the runner at second. 4-6 on the fielder's choice. We'll have runners at the corner for Garland Evans. She scored the lone run of the game way back in the 1st inning.
Let's go, D!
Lefty steps in with 2 outs now. Farrell sets up outside. Perfect pitch there from Worrell. Called a strike.
It's a pivotal point in the ball game right now. Spartans want to keep this a 1-run ball game desperately. Evans takes low, 1-1. The off-speed has helped Worrell today get in and out of trouble. Flagler's read the fastball relatively well. So the changeup's upstairs 2-1.
The runner on third, you do have to be cautious throwing that off speed, hoping nothing gets away from you for a wild pitch.
And having spoken with Sam Worrell a bit, she really pitched a lot in high school, not a whole lot at USF. So going back to her scholastic days when she was in high school, back in the circle, trying to help the Spartans. It's 2-2 with 2 outs. Garland Evans.
Key pitch here.
That one is hit, and hit well, and that is over the head of Phillips, and the foot race is on. Garland Evans has intentions of a triple, and she'll make it standing up. Will score 2 runs, 3-0, Saints.
Ball was hit hard. Phillips had a quick read on it. Maybe took a bit of a shorter angle, so that ball just passed by her. She didn't track that down all the way to the wall. Threw it in, but not in time until Evans got all the way to third. 2 runs come in. Tampa down now 3-0, and this is a crucial time for the Spartans to pick up their hitting.
Well, now how about this, Alex? Garland Evans just collected her first hit of the day, but that's been the 4th time she's been on base. She's already worked 3 walks.
She proved dangerous at that leadoff spot. Here comes Tatum Morgan, too, who She hasn't had a great day from the power perspective, but has been able to get on base as well.
We are going to have a series of changes for the Spartans that will conclude Sam Worrell's day. Coming into pitch now for Tampa is Corinne Miner.
We saw Miner close out the first game, finishing up the 7th inning.
Worrell's final statistical line from the circle: 3 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. Currently on the hook for the loss if the score holds up. But Corinne Miner enters 2 outs, Garland Evans on third, and Tatum Morgan, who struck out and popped out to Balmer, takes strike 1.
Also, we'll see here if Miner can go for the rest of the game. If there were to be a situation where she would not, or say this game went to extras and Tampa would need another pitcher, and that ball is hit to short.
Rocket making the play, 6-3.
Top of the inning, but as I mentioned, is the third Spartans pitcher of the evening. Sam Kay is another pitching arm, or we could maybe potentially see McKaylee Dooley again. But Flagler able to add 2 runs in the top of the 4th, taking a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, and even though the Spartans are currently in the midst of some struggles, I think this is the time, especially with teams, where you find your identity and find what you're really made of. When things aren't going well and adversity strikes, who steps up? Who's the leader? And what can this team do? And the Spartans, they got the pieces. It's just a matter of getting it going as we get ready. As we prepare for the bottom of the 4th, Miner, Worrell, and Jansen for the Spartans. Caitlin McHugh, she's been good. 57 pitches in 3 innings of work, 2 hits, a strikeout. And it's been smooth sailing for the Saints starter. The sophomore from Port St. Lucie will face Corinne Miner, and you get the feeling, Alex, this is the Spartans inning. They need to get going here. 3-4-5, trailing by 3 runs.
Miner steps in now, who has taken over the pitching duties.
Will look to help her own cause now in the batter's box. McHugh's ready, Miner's ready, and both pitchers now facing each other. Miner drives it deep left, and a drop. Oh my goodness, that's a break for Tampa right there, and that will be an error on the left fielder Miller, as that ball hit the webbing of her glove, just did not want to stick. I don't know if she took her eye off it or what happened.
Seemed like she read it well and got it. I don't know, maybe just the speed that the ball was coming down. She didn't close it into her glove and it popped right out.
Well, at the end of it, Corinne Miner ends up on second base, and all of a sudden, Sam Worrell is looking at a runner in scoring position with nobody out, and Tampa trying to put a dent on the scoreboard.
For Worrell here, not having to worry about pitching in the next inning, she can think about her at-bat here. Dangerous position with no outs.
And nobody wants to get this out more than Megan Miller in left field. The runner on second, her responsibility. It's Corinne Miner.
2 straight balls now.
Spartans have got to capitalize on this marvelous opportunity.
Yeah.
Quick 3-0 count now. Do you give Worrell the green light here, Connor?
Well, she's a senior Division I transfer. I sure do so. Especially if it's in her wheelhouse. The 3-0, that's ball 4.
Smart.
So you can tell the error phased McHugh. She throws 4 consecutive balls, and all of a sudden Flagler, they've run into some trouble here in the bottom of the 4th. It's not looking too good. Emily Jansen, the Spartans' leading hitter average-wise.
Interesting decision here. Let's see what Coach Canner informs might be a bunt here just to advance the runners over with no outs.
Could be. I don't know if I sacrifice it, though. She was not showing bunt, takes a strike. I think outs are too important at this point. If it was a 2-run game, I might. But being down by 3,
Still have a couple more innings to go.
certainly understand it. And we might see it if Jansen gets behind here. It's 0-1. Let's see what happens. McHugh looks in, deals, squaring a bunt, and bunting now is Jansen. It's a good one.
Got her at first. She cannot believe it. Was hustling all the way. However, she does do her job and advance the runners over to second and third.
5-3 on the putout. And like you said, Alex, just got her by maybe a split second.
About half a step out the box, and she would have been safe. But in now comes Bailey Phillips.
And now Bailey, if she can at least drive the ball, that'll at least score 1 for Tampa. And if she really gets a hold of it, who knows what the score could be at the end of it. McHugh deals. Swinging for the fences was Bailey, 0-1.
Ball seemed to be a little bit outside, but she reached for it and just couldn't get it.
Bailey struck out in the 2nd inning. Of course, had the pinch hit single in the 7th inning of game 1. McHugh deals just outside.
Another interesting thing will be to see if a ball goes to left field again, how Miller will deal with it, knowing that she dropped one.
1-1 to Bailey Phillips.
Pops that up and back towards first base.
Out of play.
Just hits the net.
Spartans get fortunate as Phillips' at-bat continues.
Erica Maddox is on deck right now.
Spartans just 2 for 11 and 0 for 3 with runners on and 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. They'll look to change that here.
Only 1 out.
It's 1-2 from McHugh. How do you do? Here we go. The pitch outside.
Good take there. Phillips is looking for a ball that she can drive.
This will be the 60th pitch for McHugh coming up in the ball game.
Spartans have done a good job working these counts to not just 1 or 2 pitches. Fouls that one away as well.
Yeah, the Spartans have certainly made the pitchers of the Saints work. Haven't had a whole lot to show for it, but
hey, we get to the bottom of the 4th now. We got 2 runners in scoring position. Anything can happen.
Spartans right where they want to be. Let's see if they can make it pay off. The 2-2, McHugh to Phillips. Foul tipped, and wow, what a catch by the catcher, Majuskovich. She gone. The strikeout to McHugh, and that's a big one for Flagler.
Majuskovich was able to get that with her fingertips. Snow cone it back into her glove, and
Happy birthday catch there, oh my.
so now we're gonna have a pinch hit. Alexi Chevalier. It's going to replace Erica Matic.
I like the move by Coach Canner. It's a critical point in the game. Chevalier, freshman phenom.
It's a pair of home runs on the season.
One of the better bets for Tampa to drive in these 2 runs that are looming on 2nd and 3rd.
One thing to note for Chevalier, though, is she hasn't taken any base on balls so far yet in the season, and that could be a key here if they were to get the bases loaded. And that goes outside for a ball. That's a zip on it.
And if McHugh's able to work out of this, that's accreditation to her, oh my, because she gave up the first 2 runners. The first one wasn't her fault, of course, with the error. But if she can escape trouble, that'd be something if you're a Flagler fan. 1-0 the count to Chevalier, and that is a sky-high pop-up. The first baseman making the play is Murphy. And
we go to the 5th inning now, still with the score at 3-0.
yeah, the error does not come back to haunt the Saints. They still hold 3-0. Coming up, Mangini, Capos, and Murphy. That's 3, 4, 5 for Flagler. We'll stay right here. Alex, what do the Spartans need to do? Obviously, 3 more innings still left to be played. Important right now, you got Corinne Miner out there. She's done a nice job. She came in relief in the first game, came in relief already, and recorded an important out with Garland Evans on third in the top of the 4th. Keep it 3-0. The Spartans have had their opportunities. There's no doubt about that. So if they can keep it close, keep plugging away, and just got to trust the process that they'll come and they'll get some runs on the board.
Yeah, for these Spartans, I mean, they haven't in this small losing streak, they haven't necessarily given up a lot of runs. It's been more in the offense not picking up on the other side, and as we saw there in the last half inning, the Spartans, they had the opportunity to drive those runs in and just did not convert. Obviously, if they can get runners again on base with no outs, that'd be ideal. But at this point, you got to get out there, trust your defense, and then as we go back up to the Tampa lineup, maybe we'll see a couple pinch hitters going forwards, and maybe even some bats we have not seen for a long time. Some hitters who haven't had their fair share of at bats, including Amelia Iacovino and a couple other Tampa hitters who there aren't a lot to scout report on. You can throw them out there. They aren't in their head, and their main goal is just going to be come out here and get one run in and do their job and getting an RBI. For Coach Cantor, though, you see her a little bit frustrated when she's over on the third base line juggling balls, but she's got a good run out of her pitcher so far. Here comes Miner on the first pitch to
Mangini takes a strike. Genevieve Mangini, the right fielder, 1 for 6 today. And you made a great point, Alex. This is an important point of the game right now for Tampa. Keep it simple, get one out, keep it close. You're at home. Got 9 outs to work with in terms of being in the box. So game is far from over.
They've done a great job on offense working the at-bats to multiple pitches and getting great counts. It's just a matter of converting on the right pitches and taking the swings with the most purpose.
The 2-1 from Corinne, and that is hit and hit well, but it is right at Lauren Reyes, yeah.
Reyes also hasn't hit today. She's been the designated player in left field for both games, and
that's the name of it.
If she got inserted into the batting order.
Yeah, and that's the name of the game, though. Sometimes you have some hard outs, and that was the case for Genevieve Mangini. She crushed that ball, but sometimes you hit it directly out of fielder, and Lauren Reyes did not even need to move to make that catch. As the first pitch is a ball to Maria Capos.
Was a ball. Could have been called a strike.
She's been on board both times in this game. She singled, was left stranded at third in the first, and walked in the third inning as she fouls that one out of play. It'll be Farrell, Pasco, and Ballmer, 8-9-1 for Tampa in the bottom of the 5th.
See Miner visibly blowing up on her hands, trying to warm them up because it's a little chilly out there still. You know, you got to stay loose and stay hot.
2-1 is the count on Capos. Inside. On the corner.
Whatever. Not whether you can't eat whatever. Whenever is there like a time frame? So you can go home and eat something.
And the pitch. Spoiled out of play. This will be the 7th pitch for Corinne. Came in relief for Sam Worrell. Got a full count now. And the pitch. That is crushed into right field. A one hop to Phillips, and there's a base hit. And she's been on board all 3 times today, is Maria Kappas.
It's a good at-bat there, not trying to do too much with the ball, but made solid contact to deliver an opposite field hit.
Now batting for the Saints, number 33, Morgan Murphy.
The junior from right around here, St. Petersburg, enjoying her stay back here in Tampa.
Wonder if she might have had an offer to go to the University of Tampa as well.
Well, if she did, she's definitely putting on the performance she would have liked here at Namoli coming into this game.
First pitch is going to be a ball.
Tampa, they got their work cut out for them, but if anyone can do it, it's this ball club. They fought valiantly, only 1 hit to show for it, of course, but like we said, there was 1 out with 2 runners in scoring position. Gotta like your percentages there of scoring at least 1, but credit McHugh, she made some premier pitches to avoid conceding any runs.
Yeah, and that puts Tampa at the tough task of trying to hold these things to not scoring any more runs.
That one is crushed.
Swing there, straight to center field, and it's caught by Pasco. He throws it in for the second out of the inning.
Pasco, a natural fielder out there in center field, making it look easy. You can tell she got the wrong read originally. She thought that was breaking in and then quickly had to resort to trotting to her back shoulder, but was able to recover and makes the play relatively easily.
Yeah, Lauren Reyes has been the only real mainstay over in left field. All the center fielders and right fielders seem to be interchangeable. We've seen Pasco center field and right field.
Seen Chevalier a little bit in right field, yes.
Right field. We've seen Minor in center field and right field.
In on the hands, Balmer, strong throw and a nice pick over there, first base, 6-3, and Corinne Minor gets out of the top of the 5th as we get ready for the bottom of the 5th. Maddie Farrell, Lauren Pasco, and Stephanie Balmer for Tampa. And Alex, take a look at this. A huddle right on the field, and you can tell some important words were just said there by head coach Leslie Cantor. Not too sure what it was, but you get the impression that, hey, it's our time. Like, we cannot wait until the 7th inning to turn on the Jets. We got to get going right now in the 5th inning.
Seemed like she just huddled them together and said, let's go, and looked them all in the face and said, go Spartans.
And you could tell, obviously,
the morale's a little bit down.
Indeed, yeah. And the body language was not what it would have liked to have been after dropping the first game, but there's still 3 innings left for the Spartans at the dish to get going.
Yeah, and for a home game, you definitely want to have your energy up and have the crowd behind you. Spartans came back from a hard road series over the weekend. Now they're back here in Tampa.
Yeah, and it's actually really interesting because entering that series, the Tars of Rollins were in conference play. They were 4-2, and Tampa was 4-2. After sweeping them, Rollins improves to 7-2, and Tampa 4-5. So it can change just like that.
It is a long season as well, and Spartans too still have a winning record at 10-7.
Definitely, and Tampa will look to get going here with Farrell. I think it's important that either her or Pasco, ideally both, get on base as we flip back to the top of the lineup for the 3rd time around. Get base runners on board and try to get to Caitlin McHugh, who's making her 73rd pitch. She's been real good in the circle today.
Starts off with the ball there, though, outside and low.
She's only given up 2 hits, has 2 strikeouts and 1 walk across 4 innings of work.
I have a feeling this next pitch is going to be hittable.
The 1-0. Well, you were right. It was in there for a strike, but it was a dang good pitch there on the outer portion of the plate.
Farrell elects to just look at it, maybe try to get ahead even more in the count, but it evens up at 1-1. That one's away. Maybe she went for the same pitch, 2 balls and a strike. Maybe Farrell's waiting for a pitch on the inside half the plate, but as we've seen so far in this game, just reaching out at an outside half pitch and hitting it opposite field can prove to be efficient.
The 2-1 goes with the changeup. Nothing doing, and now 3-1 even a walk would be of great value of Tampa just to get on board and set up Pasco. Let's see, the 3-1. Slow roller foul.
What's interesting to see is also these corner outfielders for the Saints don't necessarily seem to be in the same ready position as the center fielder. If you look at them before they start, they have their glove way down low and don't really get a great jump on the pitch, and that could have been why Miller didn't make that error earlier.
So it's a full count, McHugh to Farrell. Bottom of the fifth here in Namoli, 3-0 Saints. That one is sky high in a shallow center.
Shortstop.
Oh!
That hits her in the glove as well.
And I don't know if head coach Leslie Cantor wants to win this way, but hey, at this point, Tampa needs to take what they can get, and Matty Farrell will be pleased to just be on board as a shallow pop-up. Losing it in the lights, I think, was Capos that time.
It also seemed like there was a little bit of a wind action, too, as that ball went up and started trailing down and moved to our right.
But getting back to what you just said, Alex, it's a perfect testament to some of these fielders not being ready when the pitch is delivered and not having that awareness to make the play. I mean, that's crucial. That's what comes back to haunt teams is we have a pinch runner now for Matty Farrell.
Yeah, if you looked on that play, center fielder Garland Evans was ready before that pitch was thrown. She ran way in, and she might actually had a better.
I was surprised that Evans didn't call off.
She was on top of that ball.
Capos, because
Capos was coming a little bit around and behind. She went behind second base there, and
it would have been a miraculous catch for Capos, but I bet it would have been a routine catch for Evans. But Emily Profit now pinch running for the Spartans is a little looper, and it falls. How about this? So the Spartans,
in the second straight inning, we have runners at first and second base and no outs.
That's a base hit for Lauren Pasco, the second of the day for Tampa. A little looper in a right center field, and it fell just in front of Garland Evans. I thought she was going to dive and give an all-out attempt on that one, but instead it short-hopped right in front of her.
Here we go, Connor. We see a meeting in the circle. It seems as though McHugh's day will be done with. And
you got to feel for McHugh. I mean, she gave up two softly hit balls. Ordinarily, there'd be two outs, but when you look at it, there's two men on and nobody out, and now the top of the lineup. Spartans got something brewing right now.
And again, the lead runner, if she were to score, would not impact McHugh's ERA, which we expect to drop below 2. However, for these Spartans, they have runners at first and second. Steph Ballmer is going to be coming up, and she can get on base, and she can run as well. So, again, as we saw last time, the Spartans tried to drop a bunt. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened again, because last time Ballmer bunted, she almost got to first. So, again, maybe watch that first pitch, see if McHugh's going to stay out there. She does, but we'll see McHugh's confidence after giving up two straight base runners.
All right, well, we resume play in at the corners of the Saints. McHugh delivers, as Alex stated, showing bunt and bunting foul with Stephanie Ballmer.
Put the bunt down a little bit late, but at least she did not pop it up.
And I agree. I do like the bunt call just because it was such a bang-bang play at first base on the last bunt attempt by Ballmer. She can almost beat it out for a hit, and hits have been hard to come by for Tampa, so put pressure on the Flagler defense.
Back shows bunt. Landed fair and goes foul for strike 2, so.
Not expecting bunt now, of course, because if there's a bunt and it goes foul, it's an out, be a strikeout, so look to swing away, Steph Ballmer.
Also, what you'll see a lot is a slap hit or
just put the ball in play.
Contact to go in play. Doesn't necessarily have to be a traditional bunt.
We've seen two unorthodox errors made by Flagler in the field. Put pressure on the defense, force them to make a play.
That ball goes up high. 1 ball and 2 strikes now for Ballmer.
And if Flagler is going to look back on anything today, it's going to be the defense. They're going to try to clean that up. It'd be a whole different game if some of these routine catches were made.
Credit to the pitching, though. Keeping the game in check.
The 1-2 for McHugh, Looper.
And we'll see what happens to this one.
Infield fly was called by the crew chief that time, but yeah, you got to hold on for dear life there as Michael Eggleston calls the infield fly. And I'll bring up Christina Klallberg now for Tampa as Profits on second.
Almost went deep enough to not be an infield fly, though.
Profits on second, pass goes on first. Good speed for Tampa. Anything hitting the gap could score two. With Lauren Pasco's speed off first. Pitch outside.
Corinne Miner is on deck, and Klallberg could find a way to get on here and bring up Miner with multiple runners on base. She thrives in multi-RBI opportunities.
The 1-0 outside, and you can see frustration by the backstop, Mr. Djokovic. She wanted that pitch, but now hitters count. Christina Klallberg, look for something up your alley. 2-0. Drama at Namoli. The 2-0.
Way inside.
Almost caught a piece of Klallberg's leg. Could have been a hit by pitch, but 3-0. And I think Klallberg's in full take mode right now.
I think she is in full take mode, but I'd be aggressive here and tell her to swing just because. Why not?
I agree.
Be a soft pitch down the middle.
Let's see.
It's right down the middle, and she takes it. I know that must have been a call from Coach Tanner.
I think it was the right decision because McHugh wasn't trying to throw three balls. She lost her command. The 3-1 now, and that is outside.
Good take.
How about that? The bases are jacked for the Spartans, and it's Corinne Miner, one of the hottest hitters for the Spartan lineup, up at the plate. And the Spartans right where they want to be right now.
We'll see what happens here. It's going to be very interesting. Best case scenario, Miner does Corinne Miner and gets a hit here and brings in 1 run, 2 runs, 3 runs. Miraculous thing happens, she gets a grand slam. On the vice versa, we have bases loaded, we have 1 out, and a double play here ends the inning.
And you start to peak at that McHugh pitch count. This will be her 89th pitch. Wonder how much time she has left in the circle.
That pitch is in and up, but it's called a strike. Here's some boos from the crowd.
Yeah, Miner was in shock as well, as were the press box.
Could have just been how she was lined up on the plate, but...
Crowd in the plate, yes. The 0-1 from McHugh. Spartans desperately trying to get on the board here. Outside 1-1. On deck, Sam Worrell, the cleanup hitter.
Again, keep in mind the possibility for a pass ball or a wild pitch.
The Spartans are due. They've been held in check thus far, but it's the bottom of the 5th. Bases loaded, 1 on, 1 out.
That one's popped up and back.
It's going to get out of play. Yes, it will. 1-2 for Miner. Got to make contact here.
Yeah, it's going to bring up 2 strikes. And as we've seen, when head in the count for the pitcher McHugh, she's been pretty dominant. But sometimes having 3 base runners just on the base around you just adds that pressure.
The 1-2.
A mistake.
Let's see what McHugh can do. That one's hit. And this could very well be a sac fly at the very least. Sending him the runner. And she will score. Emily Profit is good for the Spartans' first run. RBI, Corinne Miner, her 11th on the year, team lead. And that might just be what the Spartans needed. They got the first run. Maybe the ensuing runs, if they come about, could come a little easier.
Yeah, and the dugout comes out here to celebrate. I think that was a call from Coach Kerr to bring them out and celebrate. They didn't seem too excited with just getting that 1 run in, but getting that first run in for the game is very, very exciting, given that now you bring up Worrell with 2 runners on base. A double here could tie the game.
Worrell, whoa, heads up in that parking lot over there. And
that's way in the parking lot.
Pedestrians, be mindful over there. Sam Worrell's at bat. No one's safe in the parking lot over there. She crushed that one just a little too early.
We've seen her rip a lot of ones early down there. She's primarily a pull hitter, but her sweet spot is right between the center fielder and the left fielder.
The 0-1. Worrell crushes it, but it's going to go foul. Again, she's just a little too out in front right now. And behind in the count 0-2. Getting back to the sack fly, though, you can tell Garvin Evans was kicking herself with that throw. I don't know where that throw was. She kind of overthrew it and ended up spiking into the ground in a short hop. A good throw would have had profit, but the Spartans get lucky and they score the first round.
Let's see here, though, with 2 strikes and 2 straight fastballs that she crushes, I'd be wary for a little bit of a changeup.
Yeah, I could see that too. She's been all over the 2 fastballs. She gets a changeup and sends it for a ride, yeah.
She is seeing the ball, maybe just getting her hips out a little bit too open.
If you're Flagler, you might want to have a few fielders over there in the bullpen because that's directly where Sam Worrell is hitting it right now. 0-2, and she's been all over these 3 pitches. You did get the changeup, though, from McHugh there, but she waited on it nicely.
For McHugh, she's at 92 pitches. Her arm could be getting a little bit tired, and see a fastball with a little bit less velocity. Maybe that's why Worrell is reading it so well, but she's coming in here determined to really change up this game. This could be a huge turning point.
The 0-2. Worrell crushes it. Left field. It's Miller.
And she catches
makes the play.
That is 4 straight balls that she crushes foul. And for Miller, she started hugging up on that line. Knew, if it had a chance to go over there, she would go get it. But Spartans do pick up 1 run in the bottom of the 5th. Now they're going to have 2 more chances potentially to either take the lead.
They strand 2, and we'll be back right after this as we go to the top of the 6th. Patterson, Majuskovich, and Miller for the Saints when we come back. Welcome back to the Namoli Family Stadium alongside Alex Kirsch. I'm Connor Moore here on the Sunshine State Digital Network. The Flagler Saints and the Tampa Spartans in the second game of a doubleheader. Flagler took the first one in the final score 5-3. It is currently 3-1 in favor of the Saints in the top of the 6th inning. Sam Worrell started this game. Corinne Miner now with 4 outs in relief. Alex, what have you seen from Corinne out of the bullpen that's really helped propel the Spartans to stay in this ball game?
Martin's done a good job on getting her pitches. Like, she's not trying to do too much and forcing any strikeouts. Like, she's just coming out here knowing her role is to keep the score where it is, and she's done that, and that's something to be very proud of.
That one is roped into the right center field gap. It will fall. Extra bases coming up for Cassie Patterson. It's a stand-up double and the 7th hit of the game for Flagler.
Good hustle as well to get in there standing. Saw it right out the box and ran for it. But that puts the Spartans now in a adverse situation with a runner on second.
It'll bring up the catcher, Jacqueline Muskovich. Is next to face Corinne Miner. She walked in her last at-bat. Popped out to Worrell all the way back in the second. And the pitch, taken for a strike.
Good pitch there.
For either team. Just for tonight, maybe that's just the thing.
Spartans trying to keep it at a 2-run game. Pitch on its way upstairs. Defense playing straight up for Tampa. And the pitch. It's a bunt that went off of Majuskovic's leg, foul.
Get bounced off her knee. It could be dangerous sometimes. Got a lot of ligaments there. You don't want to...
Have to rub some dirt on it, perhaps. 1-2 the count. Nobody out. The two errors on Flagler have not come back to haunt them as much as they could have. Only one run has come across. Is getting under it is Mikovic, and easy play there for Sam Warrell. 2 down.
Batting for the Saints, number 5, Megan Miller.
Megan Miller now at the bat. Number 9 hitter with 1 out. Taking a look ahead in the bottom of the 6th for the Spartans, 5, 6, 7, Jansen, Phillips, and Matic. Miller is hitless in 2 at-bats. However, she scored in the 4th after reaching on a fielder's choice. Snubs it to Matic. Routine play. Advancing on over to 3rd is Patterson. 2 down.
I think for the Spartans here, being able to get out of this inning and not letting that leadoff runner on second score is a win and can give them a little bit of momentum that they need on the batting side.
Minor will look to keep this lead where it is right now, 3-1. Spartans will have 6 outs to work with in hopes of only trailing 3-1. Pitches outside on the corner, 1-1. Terrific framework that time by the backstop, Maddie Farrell, getting the call.
She really sold that one. Tried to do it again.
Be the 30th pitch in relief for Corinne.
Not too many pitches considering that she only went 2/3 in her outing.
Locating the fastball, 2-2 now with 2 outs.
That was the pitch she needed there to bring the count back to even.
And the payoff on the way, spoiled by Evans. Garland Evans, one of those players you love batting leadoff because she has an act for getting on base, whether it be walking, getting a base hit. She spoils it out of play.
We also saw on defense that she has some great speed. Hopefully that ball did not hit a car.
And the 2-2 now from Minor upstairs, full count. It's amazing. We've seen some great pitching today, but none of the pitchers we've seen have had the strikeout ability of Michaela Dooley. She was dealing with 8 strikeouts as Evans gets on base yet again. That is her 4th walk today. Yeah. 2nd of the game.
Very impressive day so far for Evans.
The play discipline.
For Minor, she's not going to kick herself for that, knowing that there are 2 outs and she just walked to open base, and 1 out here ends the inning.
Runners on the corners. Dangerous opportunity for Tatum. Morgan takes a first pitch strike. Morgan struck out, popped out to the shortstop Balmer, and then grounded out to Balmer. The 0-1 upstairs.
Again, what she's going to be most known for this evening was that play she had in the first game, getting on pace when they desperately needed her to. Maybe the Spartans can have some of that for the second game, coming from behind. just like the Saints did in the first game.
Yeah, and you look back when the Spartans were up 3-1 in that seventh before Flagler scored 4. It was Tatum Morgan's slow chopper to Matic. Jansen dove, and it ended up being an infield single, but that very well could have been the end of the game. And in turn, 4 runs end up coming across for the Saints, and next thing you know, Flagler takes it.
Been in a very similar situation for this game as well, with Flagler in the lead as opposed to the Spartans.
That's out of play. Now we have a full count with 2 outs. It's been a long inning here for Corinne Miner.
Expect Morgan to swing here and expect for Miner to throw something that's hittable. It's just going to matter who can outpower who.
The 3-2 from Corinne Miner, and we'll do it again.
She fought that off well, but good decision for Miner to go a little inside on the hands. See if Farrell is going to set up a little bit. She's setting up central inside again, so similar pitch.
Miner's pitch is ball 4, and the bases are loaded for the number 3 hitter, Genevieve Mangini, who is yet to get a hit today. She's 0 for 3, but one Saint fans can certainly say she's due, and this has become a dicey situation for Corinne Miner and the Tampa Spartans right now in the top of the 6th inning.
This is where great players are made. You have a situation here where Miner just gave up a walk. She gave up 2 straight walks, actually. But for her to be resilient, make some key pitches here, can really show that the Spartans, have what it takes to win this game.
Well, she's ahead 0-2, and now one can only wonder, what will that put-away pitch be? The fastball has not fooled many. Got them to roll over foul, but expect a changeup. It's high, and it's 1-2 now, the count.
Looks like Farrell's setting up inside and low, and that ball is just kind of getting away from her. But look for that same pitch again, but for her to hit it. There it is.
2-2. The count nowhere to put Mangini. Miner
That
needs
pitch was a ball, but it's what she wanted to do.
fans on the edge of the seat here at Namoli. The 2-2. It is hit in the right center field gap. Coming on, Phillips makes a running catch, and the Spartans escape the top of the 6th. The Saints strand 3, and coming up to bat for Tampa, Emily Jansen, Bailey Phillips, Erica Matic, and for McHugh, she's in the 90s now with pitches, so her day could be coming to an end relatively soon if the Spartans are able to get a few runners on board and make her work. Taking a look, 96 pitches, so it will be the 97th pitch to start things off in the bottom of the 6th. For McHugh, she's out there. But Alex, what have you seen from the Spartans? They've had numerous opportunities, and they've had the looks that they wanted to. At-bats, favorable counts, pitches they wanted, particularly Worrell was all over those 3 that she clampered foul, just unfortunately hit one in the field of play. But for Tampa, 5-6-7, and the best hitter average-wise, Jansen leading things off.
Well, Connor, strategically, what I would tell these Spartan hitters is that we've seen pretty much everything that McHugh can do up to this point. We know she's a very good pitcher. We know that maybe she doesn't have great strikeout stuff, but she's going to pick her spots and she's going to make you work. However, with her already up at 96 pitches going into the bottom of the 6th inning, I would tell these Spartan hitters, don't swing at the first pitch. Don't swing every time. Just get a good at-bat going and see maybe if she'll walk you, as we saw last inning. That's how the Spartans are able to get a couple runners on. And that, walks are as good as singles.
Indeed, and Bailey Phillips waits on deck. Mentality for Tampa, get on base, keep it alive, and hand it off to the next batter. In at the corners are Morgan and Murphy. McHugh's ready, Jansen's ready, and the first pitch is outside ball 1.
What I wonder about about McHugh's pitching motion is if her legs get tired after pitching for a long time, because she really squats down before she delivers a pitch, and you can imagine that might flare up the quads after a long time.
Definitely a deceptive pitcher. The 1-0 gets Jansen jammed. This will be an easy catch for Tatum Morgan, one down in the bottom of the sixth.
So yeah, that's exactly what McHugh wants, is quick at-bats and for them to be on her terms and to get ahead in the count. For Phillips now, you can see shortstop shades over to third base, second base shades over to first, and there's a big gap in the middle.
Phillips takes up and outside, ball one. She has 2 strikeouts, 1 in the second, 1 in the fourth.
We've seen good things from her today, though.
2-0 the count. Expect something to hit here. Maybe drive it in the gap.
I'm not so sure she's going to swing, though. I think she's thinking 3-0.
And the 2-0 from McHugh. In there for a strike at the knees.
She holds her head thinking that was a ball. I thought that was a ball.
Borderline pitch.
Umpire Eggleston called that a strike.
This will be the 100th pitch for McHugh. Caitlin McHugh gets Phillips to chop it over to second. 4-3, Murphy to Murphy on the putout.
Impressive day for McHugh so far. Regardless of what the end result's going to be, she's shown some really great stuff.
Erica Matic, number 7 hitter, up at the dish. McHugh's pitch is hit, and wow, Garland Evans, how about that? Nifty catch coming in on a mission in center field and concludes the 6th inning of play. We got one more inning left. It's Maria Capos and then the Murphy clan coming up. First will be Natalie Murphy, then Morgan Murphy. Alex, Erica Matic crushed that ball, but like we said earlier, just right at a fielder.
Especially for Evans, though, she's been a real catalyst this game for this Saints team. You know, she read that well. She ran in and got it kind of sliding, kind of basket catch-like. But for her to do that, as I was saying before, a good defensive play often leads to good offense in the next inning. So we'll see here if this Flagler team comes out knowing, oh, we did our job not letting this Tampa team score. Maybe get some runners on, but Miner comes out there again. She's played well. She's pitched very well as well.
It is within striking distance, though. Only 3-1. Spartans, you get the feeling you get one runner on, and you have to look at the pop. Of course, Worrell, Chevalier, Farrell, and Miner, all with home runs on the year.
Still doing a SWOT analysis?
You just get the sense that the fans at this game are just dying to see a win.
Well, the Spartans definitely want to break out of this mini 4-game slump that they're in. It'll be Maria Capos, and she's had some day today as she's up there hacking. Jansen gives it a look, and there's a nice catch by Emily Jansen, walking the tightrope over there by the Flagler dugout. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Another thing to note, though, for this Flagler team is that they have not played any games yet in the division. And for them to come over and play an SSC team, as SSC's been a very good softball division historically, you know, they can take what they got from that win in the second game of the series and put that into conference play. And I expect them to be a pretty good team going forward.
I agree. They're, of course, from St. Augustine, Florida, and they're in the Peach Belt Conference, as that one is sky high to Balmer, and Murphy's retired. 2 down, 2 quick outs for Corinne Miner. mentioned Farrell, Pasco, and Balmer for the Spartans coming up in the bottom of the 7th. Do you see any potential pinch hitters coming up for any of those?
Not given the fact that Pasco has had a hit today. I think she'll stay in there. What I most see the scenario is as we get the third out of the inning, is that if Farrell were to get on base, I can almost guarantee a pinch runner to come in for her. But Pasco and Balmer are great contact hitters coming up, and that's what you want. And Farrell has a high on-base percentage. If she can get a walk or deliver a good hit, that can really just set up Tampa for this key deciding bottom half of the 7th inning.
One of the unsung heroes for Tampa today has been Corinne Miner. She's come in relief both games, and she's done the job to keep Tampa alive and within the striking vicinity, and expect her to get some extended run in the circle because she has been very sharp, and without her this could be a different game. But to your point, Spartans down to their final 3 outs need to find a way to manufacture 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th. It'll be Maddie Farrell to start things off. And McHugh, she's got 103 pitches. And if you're head coach Catherine Gouge for the Saints, you wonder, is this her ball game, or if she gives another 20, 25 pitches, you have to take her out? I'm not too sure. She's been dynamite today.
Her control's been well. A lot of it's going to come down to these Tampa hitters, though. Seeing if they can work the count, as they've done nicely so far, and fighting off some good pitches.
McHugh's stat line currently sits at 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. It was not earned. 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. That's a quality start, and she's currently in line for the victory. And as Alex was saying, the crowd definitely on the edge of their seat. They're ready to erupt. First pitch is outside. Spartans need a base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. Farrell now ahead 2-0.
First batter of this inning might just be the key.
2-0, served in the right center field, making the catch. Mangini, 1 down. And here's Lauren Pasco. She got a hit in her last at-bat.
Now batting for Tampa, number 5, Lauren Pasco.
Lauren trying to get on base. Flip back to the top of the lineup for Balmer. First pitch outside. Reminder, as we look ahead for the Spartans, they'll continue on with their homestand Friday and Saturday here in conference play. They'll take on Florida Tech from Melbourne in there for a strike. And then after Florida Tech, they'll host Southwest Minnesota State. That's a doubleheader. That'll be on Tuesday, a week from today.
It'll be interesting to see, though, coming up for this weekend and next week, how the Spartans are going to do. Here at the University of Tampa, we do have our midterms this week, and maybe just added stress could be impacting these players. And as we go into spring break, and the only thing that these girls have to worry about is softball, maybe that will play to their advantage. Sometimes just things such as external stressors can set off your performance on the field.
We'd like to give the University of Tampa baseball team a shout out. They defeated Seton Hill 11-2 earlier today. Took 2 out of 3 against Nova over the weekend, so the baseball team playing quality ball. A slow chopper from Pasco with her speed, going to be a close play. And to Hanukkah with the punch out. Strong relay throw, Capos to Murphy, and Tampa's down to their final out.
was vintage Pasco there, just slapping the ball and trying to beat it out to first. But
Pasco runs well, and I was thoroughly impressed that the Saints defense was able to make that play in the timely manner that they did. They got her by a full step. And Steph Ballmer, representing the last hope for Tampa, needs to get on base to bring up the tying run, which in that case would be Christina Clawberg. Then if you really want to go ahead, Corinne Miner.
seems like Flagler is on the on-deck circle, but the ever so important potential final batter here, Ballmer, just needs to do every single thing she can to get on base. Especially since it's a two-run game. You're not swinging for the fences. You're just, you and first base are the priorities.
The 1-1 from McHugh to Ballmer on its way outside 2-1.
I think for McHugh at this point, it's all adrenaline going through her, and although her pitch count is well over 100 at 111, she's feeling it.
The 2-1 swinging, getting a good rip on that is Ballmer, and Tampa is down to their final strike.
Seems like she shook her head after she swung at that, realizing it would have been a ball.
The Flagler Saints are one pitch away from winning both games of the doubleheader against Tampa here in Amole Family Stadium. The 2-2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, 3-1 Flagler. McHugh delivers, and we have a full count. So all of a sudden, this becomes an enticing pitch if you're the Spartans, because a walk brings up that tying runner potentially in Clawberg.
Saw some theatrics in the first game. Let's see what happens.
The 3-2 from McHugh. Here we go. And the pitch, ball 4. So the Spartans find a way to get a runner on board.
Yeah, a fantastic at-bat there from Ballmer. A freshman comes in and takes the walk there.
And how about this? Do we have a pitching change? We very well might. Or is this just some words of encouragement by head coach Gouge? I think it might be going a bit of a scouting report about Clawberg. They've seen her a few at-bats today, get a final rundown, and that's all it will be. This is Caitlin McHugh's ball game to finish. Would have been shocked if he got yanked out of there then.
Yeah, high fives all around for the Saints, and seem confident for this final batter. However, Clawberg's going to do everything she can here to also get on base.
Clawberg did not record a hit in her first 2 at-bats, but she got a walk in her last, and that was in the 5th inning. And
it would have been surprised as well if we had a different pitcher come in and have to do the task of getting the final out cold. I don't see anyone over in the bullpen, so it's going to be McHugh.
Corinne Miner is on deck if Clawberg is able to get on base. First pitch in there for a strike.
Paints the outside corner right there.
The 0-1, Caitlin McHugh throwing her 118th pitch of the ball game, and now it's 1-1.
One thing to notice there is Ballmer did get a good jump, but she got eyed down over at first base. Maybe for her not to get too antsy. Potentially caught in a pickle.
The 1-1 to Christina Clawberg. And that one is crushed. Left field. Miller's there. She makes the play. And the Flagler Saints come in Amole Family Stadium and take both games against the Tampa Spartans. Flagler improves to 14-10 on the season. Tampa moves to 10-8. Taking a look at the final stat line, it was a complete game for both pitchers today. for Flagler. How about that? In the first game, Kyra Gibson went 7 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. She got the win. She moved to 7-3. And as for Caitlin McClure, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. It was not earned. 2 strikeouts, 3 walks, 120 pitches, and she collects the win. Alex, what did Flagler do today that held the Spartans in check?
Flagler led from their pitchers and their captains, really. The pitchers, and I would, say Garland, their center fielder slash leadoff hitter, was an unsung hero for this contest. There were a few other errors along the fielding. However, they really had great team spirit and were able to get the outs and make the plays they needed to win both games. For the Spartans, encouraging signs, getting runners on base, just need to get more batters in. And going into the weekend, they're going to have some things to improve on, but they should go forward knowing they're a good team and knowing that they are still 10-8, puts them over 500, and puts them in a position to compete in the SEC with few SEC matchups coming for us.
One last reminder, tomorrow, 7 o'clock, the University of Tampa women's basketball team will be hosting the Rollins Tars in Sunshine State Conference play. Yes, March Madness is here, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be an exciting time. Please come to the Martinez Athletic Center. If you're in the West Florida area, it'll be a great game to be at. If not, be sure to tune in, TampaSpartans.tv. For Alex Kirsch, I'm Connor Moore. Thanks so much for joining us. The Flagler Saints win both games against the Tampa Spartans. We'll be back in action Friday against Florida Tech, 6 o'clock. We'll see you there. Signing off. Have a great night, everybody.